Karina, baby, good morning. Today is August the 25th. Can you believe it? I can't believe it. So today for our story from A Year Full of Stories, I love this book because it makes sure that you know exactly what day it is as well. And you know Mama has a thing with time and days. Alright, so for the 25th, it's too hot. It's too hot to growl. It's too hot to purr. It's too hot to run, wiggle, or stir. But it's just right for sighing, dreaming, and laying down by the pool where it is cool, cool, cool. Very nice. And you can see the alligator and the bear inside the pool. Let's see what our next story is. Yesterday was Alibaba and the 40 Thieves. Oh, today's the Golden Goose. There was once a man who had 3 sons. The youngest of them was called Simpleton, and he was sneered and jarred at the snobbing of every possible opportunity. One day it happened that the eldest son wished to go into the forest to cut wood, and before he started out, his mother gave him a fine rich cake and a bottle of wine, so that he might be sure not to suffer from hunger or thirst. When he reached the forest, he met a little gray old man who wished him good morning and said, "Do give me a piece of that cake you are carrying and a drink from your bottle of wine. I am so hungry and thirsty." But this clever son replied, "If I give you my cake and wine, I shall have none for myself. You just go on your own way." And he left the little gray man standing there and went further into the forest. There he began to cut down a tree. But before long he made a false stroke with his axe and cut his own arm so badly that he was obliged to go home and have it bound up by his mother. Then the second son went to the forest, and his mother gave him a good cake and a bottle of wine, as she had to the elder son. He too met the little gray old man, who begged him for a morsel of cake and a drink of wine. But the second son spoke more sensibly also, and said, "Whatever I give to you, I deprive myself of. Just go your own way, will you?" Long after, his punishment overtook him, for no longer had he struck a couple of blows with his axe that he cut his leg so badly that he had to be carried back home. Then the youngest son said, "Father, let me go out and cut wood." And his father answered, "Both your brothers have injured themselves. You had better not. You know nothing about it." The boy begged him so hard to be allowed to go that at last his father said, "Very well, then go. Perhaps when you have hurt yourself, you may learn to know better." His mother gave him only a very plain cake made with water and baked in the cinders, and a bottle of sour beer. When he came to the forest, he too met the little gray old man, who greeted him and said, "Give me a piece of your cake and a drink from your bottle. I am so hungry and thirsty." The boy replied, "I have just a cinder cake and some sour beer, but if you care to have that, let us sit down and eat." What a good boy. So they sat down, and when that boy brought out his cake, he found it had turned into a fine rich loaf, and the sour beer into excellent wine. Then they ate and drank all they wanted. When they had finished eating, the little gray man said, "Now I will bring you luck, because you have a kind heart and are willing to share what you have with others. There stands an old tree. Cut it down, and amongst the roots you'll find something." With that, the little man took his leave. But the boy began at once to hew down the tree. And when it fell, he found amongst its roots a goose whose feathers were all pure gold. He lifted it out, carried it off, and took it with him to an inn where he meant to spend the night. Now the landlord of the inn had 3 daughters, and when they saw the goose, they were filled with curiosity about the wonderful bird, and each longed to have one of its golden feathers. The eldest said to herself, "No doubt I shall soon find a good opportunity to pluck out one of the feathers." What's wrong with that? There's no communication, right? I bet you if she asked the young man for a feather, he would have offered her one. Instead, she's thinking about how she can go and take one of the feathers without him knowing, right? There's no communication. And the first time Simpleton happened to leave the room, she caught hold of the goose by its wings, but lo and behold, her fingers seemed to stick fast to the goose, and she could not take her hand away. Soon afterwards, the second daughter came in and thought to pluck a golden feather for herself too. But hardly had she touched her sister, then she stuck fast as well. At last the third sister came with the same intention, but the other 2 cried out, "Keep off, for heaven's sake, keep off." The youngest sister could not imagine why she was to keep off, and thought, "If they are both there, why should not I be there too?" So she sprung towards them. But no sooner had she touched one of them than she stuck fast to her, and they all 3 had to spend the night with the goose. The next morning the boy tucked the goose under his arm and went off, without in the least troubling himself about the 3 girls who were holding on to it. They just had to run after him right and left as best they could. But in the middle of the field they met the person, and where he saw this possession he cried, "For shame, you bold girls! What do you mean by running after a young fellow through the fields like that?" And with that he caught the youngest girl by the arm and drew her away. But directly he touched her, he stuck on and had to run along with the rest. Not long afterwards the town clerk came that way, and was much surprised to see that parson following the footsteps of the 3 girls. "Why, where is your reverence going so fast?" cried he. And he ran after him, grabbed his coat, and hung on to it himself. As the 5 of them trotted along in the fashion one after another, 2 peasants were coming from the work with their hoes. Oh, seeing them, the parson called out and begged them to come to rescue him, and the clerk. But no sooner did the first one touch the clerk that they were stuck too. And so there were 7 of them running after the simpleton and his goose. After a time they came to a town where the king reigned, whose daughter was so serious and sullen that no one could ever manage to make her laugh. So the king had decided that whoever should succeed in making her laugh could marry her. When Simpleton heard this, he marched before the princess with his goose and his appendages. And as soon as she saw those 7 people continually running after each other, she burst out laughing and could not stop. Oh, it's this one. I like this rendition better than the other one that we read last time. herself. Then he claimed her as his bride. But the king, who did not much fancy him as a son-in-law, made all sorts of objections and told him he must first find a man who could drink up a whole cellar full of wine. Bethought him of the simpleton bethought him of the little gray old man, who could, he felt sure, help him. So he went off to the forest, and on the very spot where he cut down the tree, he saw the man with the most dismal expression on his face. He asked the man what he was taking so much to heart. And the man answered, I do not know how I am ever to quench this terrible thirst I am suffering from. Cold water doesn't suit me at all. To be sure, I've emptied a whole barrel of wine, but what is one drop on a hot stone? I think I can help you, said the boy. Come with me, and you shall drink to your heart's content. So he took him to the king's cellar, and the man sat down before a huge cask and drank till he had drunk up the whole contents of the cellar before the day closed. The simpleton asked once more for his bride, but the king felt vexed at the idea of a not-so-smart fellow, whom people called simpleton, carrying off his daughter, and he began to make fresh conditions. He required the simpleton to find a man who could eat a mountain of bread. The boy did not want to consider long, but went straight off to the forest, and there, on the same spot as the man, who was drawing in a strap as tightly as he could around his body, and making a most woeful face the while, said he, I've eaten up a whole oven full of loaves, but what the good of that to anyone who is as hungry as I am? I declare my stomach feels quite empty, and I must draw my belt tight, if I'm not to die of starvation. Simpleton was delighted and said, Go up and come with me. Get up and come with me, and you shall have plenty to eat. And he brought him to the king's court. But the king had given orders to have all the flour in his kitchen brought together, and to have a huge mountain baked out of it. But the man from the wood just took up his stand before the mountain and began to eat. And in one day it had all vanished. For the third time Simpleton asked for his bride. But again the king tried to make some evasion, and demanded a ship which would sail on land or water. When you come sailing in such a ship, he said, you shall have my daughter without further delay. Again the boy started off to the forest, and there he found the little gray old man with whom he had shared his cake, and who said, I have eaten and I have drank for you, and now I will give you the ship. I have done all those things for you because you were kind and merciful to me. Then he gave him a ship which could sail on land or water, and when the king saw it, he felt he could no longer refuse him his daughter. So they celebrated the wedding and with great rejoicing, and after the king's death, Simpleton succeeded to the kingdom and lived happily with his wife for many years. So, that is a very cute story. Alright, Karina baby, let's do... We sit and watch the rain as it falls from the sky, and we are glad to be inside where it is warm and dry. Oh yes, I do love the rain. It keeps the earth so clean and helps the pretty flowers grow. from the mountains to the streams. No, I just love you, and I miss you. Mama's just trying to keep her days kind of busy, so this way the time will pass, and I will eventually get to see you. I called up the other day. I'm going to call up again today. I just want to see how everything is going with the stuff that Papa and I are supposed to be doing. Just right now, because of COVID, everything is slow, baby, and I'm sorry. I'm really, really sorry. Everything in life is just a waiting game, and you have to be patient with your waiting, right? How about... Oh, the grand old Duke of York had 10,000 men. He marched them up to the top of the hill, and he marched them down again. And when they were up, they were up, and when they were down, they were down. And when they were only halfway up, they were neither up nor down. How about... Let's do Bockertoe. Bockertoe, good morning. We sing Bockertoe, we thank you for this life. We sing Bockertoe each morning. This way we know it will be alright. Everything will eventually be okay. Oh my gosh, I just miss you so incredibly much that it hurts. I miss you and I love you. I do. Let's do... There you stand in your dungarees, looking all so grown up and so very pleased. When you write your poems, you have so much to say. When you speak your dreams, it takes my breath away. You know I want to be a ball player. No, I think it's a painter first. No, I want to be a painter girl, a real artistic snob. No, it's not. Alright. Let's start it over. And there you stand in your dungarees, looking all grown up and so very pleased. When you write your poems, you have so much to say. When you speak your dreams, it takes my breath away. You know I want to be a ball player, a regular slugging fool. But I guess we'll have to wait a while, at least until we finish school. And so you and I will watch our years go by. We'll watch our sweet dreams fly far away. But maybe someday, I don't know when, but we will dream again. And we'll be happy then, until our time just drifts away. And there you are in your wedding dress. You're so beautiful that I must confess, I'm so proud you have chosen me. When a doctor is what you want to be. You know I want to be a painter girl, a real artistic snob. But I guess we'll have our children first. To make a home, I'll get a job. And so you and I will watch our years go by. We'll watch our sweet dreams fly far away. But maybe someday, I don't know when, but we will dream again. And we'll be happy then, till our time just drifts away. There you are in your tailored suit, so many years gone by, but you're still so cute. We'll take the car to go and meet the bus when our grandchildren come to visit us. You know you want to be a ballerina, babe. There are songs I should have sung, but I guess our years have come and gone. You gotta dream when you are young. Where do broken dreams go? And so you and We've watched our years go by. We've watched our sweet dreams fly far away. But maybe someday, I don't know when, but we will dream again. And we will be happy then, till our time just drifts away. How about a bully down in Shinbo now? So help me, Bob, and bully in the alleyway. Hey, 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 bully in the alley. So help me, Bob, and bully in the alley. Bully down in Shinbo now. Now Sally is a girl down in our alleyway. Hey, bully in the alley. Sally is a girl that I place nearly. Bully down in Shinbo now. So help me, Bob, and bully in the alleyway. Hey, bully in the alley. So help me, Bob, and bully in the alley. Bully down in Shinbo now. I left my girl to go a-sailing way. Hey, bully in the alley. Left my girl to go a-whaling. Bully down in Shinbo now. If I ever get back, I'll marry little Sally. Way, hey, bully in the alley. Have 6 kids and live in Shinbo Alley. Bully down in Shinbo now. There's a part in there that goes, Sally is a girl that I love dearly. Way, hey, bully in the alley. Sally is a girl that I place nearly. Bully down in Shinbo now. Now, help me, Bob, and bully in the alley. Way, hey, bully in the alley. Help me, Bob, and bully in the alley. Bully down in Shinbo now. Now all she did was dilly and dally. Way, hey, bully in the alley. If I ever get back, I'll marry little Sally. Bully down in Shinbo now. Alright, Karina, baby, I love you. Let's do Amazing Grace. How sweet the sound that saved a wretch like me. I once was lost, but now I'm found. Was blind, but now I see. 'Twas grace that taught my heart to fear, and grace my fears relieved. How precious was that grace thus far, the hour I first believed. Through many dangers, snares, and snares, I have already come. 'Tis grace that brought me safe thus far, and grace will lead me home. When we've been there 10,000 years, bright shining as the sun, we've no less days to sing God's praise than when we first begun. Swing low, sweet chariot, coming forth to carry me home. Swing low, sweet chariot, coming forth and carry me home. Well, I looked over Jordan, and what did I see? Coming forth to carry me home, a band of angels coming after me, coming forth and carry me home. Swing low, sweet chariot, coming forth to carry me home. Swing low, sweet chariot, coming forth and carry me home. Well, sometimes I'm up and sometimes I'm down, coming forth to carry me home. But still I feel my soul is heavenly bound, coming forth and carry me home. Swing low, sweet chariot, coming forth to carry me home. Swing low, sweet chariot, coming forth and carry me home. Now if you get there before I do, coming forth to carry me home. Tell all my friends I'll be coming there too, coming forth and carry me home. Swing low, sweet chariot, coming forth and carry me home. Swing low, sweet chariot, coming forth and carry me home. I'll be coming home, coming home, coming home to you, coming forth to carry me home. You know my word is good, you know my word is true, coming forth and carry me home. Swing low, sweet chariot, coming forth to carry me home. Swing low, sweet chariot, coming forth and carry me home. You know that I love you, coming forth to carry me home. You know my word is good, you know my word is true, coming forth and carry me home. Swing low, sweet chariot, coming forth to carry me home. Swing low, sweet chariot, coming forth and carry me home. Let's sing a song of sixpence, a pocket full of rye, 4 and 20 blackbirds baked in a pie. When the pie was open, the birds began to sing. Now wasn't that a dainty dish to set before the king? The king was in his counting house, counting out his money. The queen was in the parlor, eating bread and honey. The maid was in the garden, hanging out the clothes, when down came a blackbird that pecked off her nose. I just remembered it. Alright, how about Humpty Dumpty sat on a wall. Humpty Dumpty had a great fall. All the king's horses and all the king's men could never put Humpty together again. Alright, Karina baby, Mama loves you. Let's do Lila Tove. Lila Tove, and good night to you. Lila Tove, may your dreams come true. We sing Lila Tove, may Israel protect you throughout the night until we reach the morning light. I wish I had a computer that worked better sooner. I wish that I started reading me storybooks sooner than what I did. I really, really do. I wish I was with you every single second of every single day so I could read you storybooks in person and take you anywhere you wanted to go. I wish that life didn't fall apart sometimes for people. I wish that people couldn't lose things in a second. It's a split second and you lose your entire world for a very long time, and what you had is very hard to get back, baby. Don't protect someone so much that you throw yourself away. Don't ever do what Mama did. Mama just got her nose fixed. And the day I got in trouble, Mama said that no one touched me and I was completely fine. My nose was completely broken. And it wasn't a good thing. And that happens sometimes. Sometimes you get your nose broken. It's no big deal. But don't ever let anyone break your nose. But, you know, I just got my nose fixed, you know, so I should be able to breathe better in a couple weeks when it's actually healed. It takes a year to heal from any surgery, but when it's doing much better. I should be able to actually breathe again. But I always said to you and to Papa, if anyone's ever hurting, I'd much rather be me than anybody else. Papa is hurting all the time, no matter what. And there's no way to really make that better. I don't know how to make that better. I protected him no matter what, because he is the man of our house, and we need him to be working outside the home. But I just love you, honey. I just love you so incredibly much. Mamas will do anything to protect their babies, anything in the world. And at the time, I thought I made a good decision. With it all panning out, I think it's still going to be okay. Everything will eventually be okay anyway. I love you immensely, so incredibly much. I miss you. I miss you so much. And I can't wait to see you. I can't wait to see you. I love you. And just like my nose got put back together, things will fall back into place, baby. I promise. Things happen for a reason. And without a doubt, God's letting everyone go through everything that He's letting them go through in order to build their character and make them more loving, understanding, caring, kind people. People have to go through struggles to realize how much everyone else goes through too. And I know Mama lives her life like that. Like, I know I have it hard sometimes, but I know other people have it so much harder than I do. I am so blessed no matter what. You are so blessed no matter what. You have your health, you have your brain, you have your heart, you have your spirit, you have your soul. You are blessed, Karina. You are so blessed. And, you know, I watched my father go through so much that there's no way I can't be blessed right now. There's no way. And that was just because your grandpa was just, he got really sick. And he went through so much. And he taught us so much about life before he died. That was his whole goal in life, was to make sure that we were going to be okay no matter what. He taught us how to live out of the cars. He taught us how to be in the cities. He taught us how to just be able to be adventurous and go places and trust in ourselves. Now, Mama's a scaredy cat. I'm afraid of the dark. I'm afraid to live alone. I mean, Papa was easily able to just wrap me up and do whatever he wanted with me because of certain fears that I have. And, you know, but still at the same time, I don't let my fears completely overtake me. I still go places and do things. Like, I'm okay, you know, going places and doing things because, you know, I do get scared sometimes, but it's okay to be scared. It's okay to be scared as long as you push forward and you just keep living your life too. You know, like right now the coronavirus is out there. Everyone's afraid of it. Everyone's afraid of it. Because it's, you know, if someone actually gets it, it's scary. It's really, really scary. But you don't let your fear overtake you, and you still have to continue living your life and doing the things that you're doing, right? And you have to be okay. But yeah, the point is, I just love you. I just love you, and I just miss you, and I just want you to know how much I love you. I love you so incredibly much, my baby. Let's do Lila Tove again. Lila Tove, and good night to you. Lila Tove, may your dreams come true. We sing Lila Tove, may Israel protect you throughout the night until we reach the morning lights. I love you.